What's up, everyone? Welcome to Notes and welcome to our next video in our Directus playlist. And this will be more towards, like, I would say, customizing the UI experience of Directus Data Studio while you are adding new content in Directus Data Studio, right? So I might be sounding a little different, and the reason is that I was not feeling well from past 2 to 3 days. So that's the reason that this next video in Director's playlist is coming way after some time. So yeah, without wasting our time, let's jump straight into our demonstration and let's see that how things are going, right? So one of the things I like to emphasize before moving on to the flow things, right? So if you come into settings and go into this flows, this was the part I was talking about, that you will be starting to understand what flows are and how we can, I would say, build some custom use cases by using these flows thing in Director's Data Studio. But before that, I thought that why not to give you guys an option in which you can customize the UI UX experience of, I would say, Director's Data Studio specific to some sort of collections, right? So let me explain that by an example. So once you come to data model, you can see over here that you're having a lot of different color, I would say, collections over here. Okay. And you can customize the UI UX experience by, customizing some of the settings for that specific data model. Let me explain that by an example. So let's say if I come to this content section and if you select, we are right now, we are at to-do collection, right? So once you click on this, you can see that I can add the title, add the description, add the image, and add the status as well, right? But if you really want to change the ordering of this field, so let's say I want a scenario in which the description should be first and the title should be second. So I can easily do that by dragging and dropping all those fields in my data model, right? So if you come to settings and go to data model and just select that to dos, here you can see that I have a clear, I would say, ability in which I would drag and drop and change the ordering of these fields, right? So if you, let's say if I drag description to the top and let's take status to the top as well. So now the ordering is like description, title, status, and image, which is really a bad order. But just for the sake of explaining things, I'm doing that, right? Now, if you come to our content section and go into to-dos, and if you click on add, you can see that right now we're having description at first, then we are having title, then we're having status and image, right? So this is how you can, I would say, order your fields according to your own business use cases, right? Now, there is one thing extra which I would like to emphasize in this video as well, that if you go into settings and go into data model and select to-dos, you can also group, multiple fields into different, I would say, UI elements as well, right? But before going on to that part, I want to show you that you can even, I would say, change the width of these fields according to your business use case, right? So let's say if I move this title to the first over here, and let's make status at last. And now what I want is I want this title to be nearly half width. So you can click on this and you have the options of half width and full width. Okay. So once you click on this half width, you can see that right now it will take only half portion of your, I would say, screen. And same goes over here. If you click on this, if you go with half width, you can see right now, since this half and this half, so it will be aligned in a single line right over here. Okay. So this can, I would say, this will take immediate effect on your content section. And now if you come to your content part and go into this creating a new content, you can see that title and descriptions are side by side, right? So you have the ability to even change the width of all these UI elements as well, right? And now moving on, let's go to our to-dos. And over here, I want to give you another, I would say, option in which you can customize the UI UX experience. That is that you can go into this create field section over here and just scroll down to, I would say, this group section right over here. Okay, and this is where you can group your multiple fields into, I would say, into a single UI element, right? So you can use accordions, you can use detail group, you can even use raw group as well, right? But before that, let me discuss this divider thing. And this is one option in which you can divide your, I would say, layouts into multiple, I would say, different containers, giving them a more meaningful name as well, right? So if you click on this divider thing, it will ask you for the name. So let's say this is maybe like details for now. Let me give that name. You can even choose a color for that. Let me change a different color, maybe something like a pinkish color right over here. Okay. And you can even provide an icon. So let's go with the maybe like a list icon if I'm having any. So I think this will look good a little bit. And I think that is for it for now. And once we save this thing, so you will be having a divider right over here. Okay. And you can place this divider between your, I would say, any UI elements, which will, I would say, divide your UI into two different portions, right? Let me give an example by that. Right now, I will just drag and I would say put a divider in between title, description, and then we will be having all the details, right? And now if you come to our content section, now this is where I would say the magic will happen, right? So if you click on add, you can see that now we're having title and description. And between after title and description, we are having this details section right over here, in which this is giving a clear visibility to our end users that, yeah, this is our details portion in which you can go and fill out all the details of that to-dos, right? So this is how you can, place all those dividers, which will give you a great UI experience for your Directus Data Studio users, right, while entering the content. So this is how you can use, I would say, this divider thing, right? So let's jump back to our to-do collection and let's see what other elements are available right over here. Okay. So for now, let me just delete this divider. Don't need for this. Let me just delete it and let's click on create field, right? And let's scroll down to our, I would say, this group section. And this is where you can, group your multiple fields into accordions as well, right? So if you click on this thing, you can just, see what's a lot more options which are available in accordion, right? You can use them, but I will go with the default one. I will choose save for now. And once you save this thing, you can see you are having accordion over here in which you can put a lot more fields and group them together, right? So let me explain that by doing that, right? So if you just bring that up and if you just drag and drop the image into this and status into this, and now you can see that these are being grouped in between this accordion right over here. Okay. And this will immediately take effect on the content section. So if you go to our content and if you just add your content, you can see right over here that now these are being grouped into accordions. So if you click, you're having status over here and you are having image over here. Okay. So this is what it will look like on the, I would say, UI side of things, in which you can go and, click on this and play with them, right? So that's how this accordion things work in Directus Data Studio. Again, it's totally customizable. Directus is totally flexible. So there are different ways in which you can, achieve all those different business use cases, right? So that's how this accordion thing work, right? And the good part of this is that right now when you come out of the screen, these are always closed, right? So if you go back to any content and come back to to-dos and click on this, you can see these are closed by default, but you can change the behavior of that as well by going into that data model and changing the settings of this accordion. So if you come to settings, go to to-dos, and if you click on this thing and edit field, you can go to, I think, in this field interface, let me find that option. And yeah, in the interface section, it is saying that start, it will be all closed, but you can say first open, right? So this is what will change the default behavior from closed to open, right? So once you save this thing, this will take effect. And if you go to our content section and just add this thing right now, you can see that it is saying that the first accordion will always be open and it is open by default, right? So that's how you can play with all these, I would say, groups, and you can group multiple fields and, can change the UI UX experience depending on your use case, right? And now moving on, there is another one in which you can, use this detail group as well. And I think this is where you can, I would say, place all the fields in a single accordion type structure. I've never used it. And you also have a raw group thing in which you can go and further play out and see that how this will work, right? And again, I'm leaving a curiosity for you guys to go and try out and how this will behave on the UI UX experience, right? And I would say the concepts remain the same, right? You place it, you put all the fields inside that, you name it, and you change their behavior by going into that settings thing, right? So that's how things will work while customizing your UI UX experience depending on all these settings, right? So yeah, I think that's it for now. I might be sounding a little different today, but yeah, that's it from today's video in which we have seen that how we could, customize the UI UX experience of while adding the content, depending on different business uses, right? And I think that's it from today. In the coming on section, we will be jumping into flows, and we might be seeing that how we could, build some of the custom business use cases by the help of these flows thing. And this is more like, I would say, an interface of N@N. So if you are familiar with N@N, so this might be familiar with that because it's just a drag and drop feature similar to N@N, in which we'll be building custom workflows, which will help us to build all that custom business use cases, right? So yeah, that's it for now. Hope you liked the video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.